Thank you for having me. This might be my first physical publication, so I was absolutely thrilled to have this poem included in the Little Patuxent Review, and I'll start with it. So it is called No Stars But City Lights. An illuminated billboard broadcasts a cheap beer ad, the distant glow of lamppost and traffic lights, yellow office windows ablaze with emptiness, flickering red taillights on the interstate, too much like urban fireflies to represent real people going to work, or maybe a home where someone has left the light on for them. Unheld in darkness, time clicks. Eyes radiate with the narcotic blue light of screens. What are we without sweet distractions? Memes, sex, too much wine and weed, late night phone calls, someone else's ragged breath that lets me forget how much more I wanted or why I dreamed I swallowed broken glass with all the things that I want to say but keep arranged in my brain in case someone asks me in just the right way. Tiny circuit board lights flash inside my head. Thoughts like wires, frayed, strayed, unplugged, always searching for meaning where there is perhaps none. I imagine myself transmitting a signal by reflecting moonlight off of a mirror in Morse code, flaring unnoticed into a polluted cityscape of twinkling. Outside, a helicopter search beam glares surveillance through my window. They must be looking for someone too. And the next poem that I would like to read is a poem that I wrote after watching the movie At Eternity's Gate with Willem Dafoe. I feel like as a filmmaker, I'm very influenced by films and especially films about art. So there was a line in it that really struck me. And the line is, "Why would God give me a gift to paint ugly and disturbing things? Look at me, pilgrim on this earth, my eyes made of moving mirrors. Let me make you into art. I'll paint your roots, your cold cheek, and twisted branch in one clear gesture, alive in this hungry light. I don't want to calm down. I've climbed the hill and I've seen wind sweep through a sunflower desert, husks of dead sun bent face down. I've smelled the crumbling dirt, brushed against flowers and rocks, painted my face and screamed into a starry night. So what if it scares the children? Without our eyes, there is no beauty. The earth needs you to look, to feel. See how it is fervorish with life? How fleeting the light? Every time I look, there's something new." And then I would like to read a poem that I wrote in collaboration with another poet. This was in collaboration with a poet that I really admire named Kate Bellew. And this was one of her projects that was under a series of pandemic poems where each line was a collaboration between poets. It's called I Do Not Believe in Weeds. Oh, this must be a love song, or else I may have heard it wrong, a spilt rosé stain against the twisted sheets of my own mind. These days, I think everything is crushed lilac, too sweet to breathe, and it is all some shade of purple. Tell me it isn't wrong to want, because it seems as if all I am is want these days, drifting from one pale violet ache to the next, like some sort of bizarre dream. Listen when I tell you this. I have never wanted anything more than to gather this in my arms, what harvest I've stolen from your wild garden. I do not believe in weeds, only whatever grows with unintended beauty. And then if I have time for two more poems, I have this series called It's my Sloppy Baby series, and it is from this character perspective that is like my most anxious, my most cartoony, feeling everything so vividly self. This is called Sloppy Baby's Anxieties. The fire alarm's batteries are dying. Ominous beeps. I haven't heard from you in a few days. Maybe you moved to Cuba without telling me. I've scorched my green pan too many times, turning on the wrong burner making tea. If the alarm beeps or doesn't, I question my sanity. I've checked the stove 5 times. Did you see how dirty my kitchen floor is? My risotto was watery, the wine cheap. I answered the door too quickly, waiting for you in my underwear. Oh God, I thought it would be sexy. You didn't think it was sexy? It smells like burning. What is burning? No, the tea is fine. It must be me. Why would you have gone to Cuba? You don't even speak Spanish, do you? I wish you would speak Spanish to me. Black tea has too much caffeine. Maybe I should have gone with mint. But I'm on my 3rd cup, so it's probably too late to switch. That alarm will keep me up all night anyway, dreaming of a Spanish-speaking man tall enough to change the batteries. And the last one is the prompt that I wrote this for was a letter to a part of my body. And this is called Stretch Marks. Pale indented lines on inner thigh, cracks in the dry earth of my skin. When I was 11, they appeared, red as blood with my first period. My bird-like legs had blossomed, with lines like a weeping willow, a violent blood-twigged dogwood. The shame I felt between my thighs no longer innocent, stained with the red pen of puberty, like permanent edits on a rough draft, hastily etched markings that translate. Not good enough. Lacks structure. Use perforated paper, awkward fragments, consider revising. I tried to cover the blushing scars as though they had been self-inflicted, afraid that people would look at my thighs and see the woman tearing through my skin and think, how dare you, bursting out of your once beautiful body. What a greedy girl to need more room than the cage of your skin allows. The skin protects our insides from the world and shields the world from what's inside us. The more I grow, the more rifts in the barrier, yawning fissures, chasms, uneven gashes ripping through the fabric of my flesh, venting like fish gills against smooth surface, altering my seams, letting me out, more permeable, letting a universe in. I have heard others describe their scars as lightning bolts across the sky of their breasts. Mine have faded into ghostly tributaries, ravines flowing downward in imitation of my sex. Sometimes they are barely visible fractures that only exist with a sense of touch. My scars braille on the open book of my thighs. I let men read what is written there with blind fingers and tongue. Thank you.